In this lesson, let's begin building the cockpit for the helicopter. I'm going to go ahead and isolate just the body of the chopper. There we go. Switch over to our right view. And let's start sketching out the seams that represents the outline of the lid. So I'm going to draw a polyline closely to the shape of the lines you see here. Followed by this one. Again, it doesn't have to be precise. Just get it close to the visual. And I'm going to angle this a little bit this way. Looks good. When you're finished, just select your mesh. Run the split tool and select these two cutters. There we go. And let's delete the curves. All you have to do next is select both objects that have been split, and let's hide everything else. I'm going to figure out a distance of this separation here. I'm going to draw a polyline, and let's see how long that is. It's about 0.85, so select both meshes. Let's do the duplicate border command so we have a perfect curve on every edge. I'm going to take this curve here at the end. I'm going to do a pipe. Make sure we hit radius. Do a distance of 0.8. That looks good, and we could delete the curve. For now, I'm going to lock this side. Let's select these curves first and do an intersection. We'll do these next and delete these cylinders, followed by this one, and do the same thing. You could select all the curves, run the trim tool, delete the tails at the end. Let's duplicate these edges here that you see on the line. I'm going to do a pipe. This time I'm going to do 0.4. Looks good. And do the same thing. Select both poly surfaces and this mesh and do an intersect again. Now we have the bar going this way. Let's switch over to the right view and draw a straight line coming down at the corner here. I'm going to do a project with delete input set to yes and select the mesh. We have that. I'm going to take this curve and pipe it at 0.6. Looks a bit big. Let's make sure we go to diameter this time. And you don't want 1.2, you want 0.6. Select the mesh and intersect again, and we have now this border here. So we can select just the curves and lock everything else. Select all of these, and let's do a trim. If you made a mistake, just hit Control Z. So you could re-trim what you want to trim. So okay, quite happy with that. When you're finished, just select the mesh. Let's do a split. Select all the curves. We can lock now this part here and focus on these windows. We'll select all the curves. Actually, let's start with this group of curves here. I'm going to do an offset on surface command. Select this mesh. And let's do an offset of 0.1, which is right there. Put on the command line. Hit enter. And let's split it. Do the same with this one. If the arrows are pointing the wrong way, just flip the direction and right click. And we could split that. These will do the same thing. And we do a split. There we go. Finally, we'll do this one. And we'll do a split again. We can now select all the curves minus these again. Let's select these split surfaces on the edge here. We'll do an offset surface. Distance, I'll keep it at 0.1, solid, set to yes, and right click. Let's go ahead and lock everything else. What I want to do next is run a fillet. Radius, let's go with 0.035. Make sure chain edges is selected. And let's go ahead and select everything on the top layer. The edges on the top layer. When you have them all selected, make sure you zoom in so you could make sure you don't select the wrong one. So when that is all done, right click. Let's verify they look good. So I see it's nice and clean. I'm going to pause the video and fillet the rest of these because I don't think you want to see me or wait for me to do all these. So I'm going to come back in a few moments and we'll continue. Okay, I'm back and these are all being filleted. Let's go now and unlock everything else. We'll select these sections on the inside, which are the windows. We'll make a new layer. Call this glass. Let's apply the layer and change the color. I'm going to go with something that's somewhat tinted looking. That's good. We're actually not going to model the interior of the cockpit because that's a whole new set of things that we're not even close to getting into. All right. What we will do is I will end this video because I don't think you want to sit through another 10 minutes of video of me doing the exact same thing. So I trust you guys can follow the same thing I did at the top and the bottom. So in the next lesson, we will build the front part of the helicopter, which includes the radar, and we'll begin sketching out the compartment for the railgun.